We are back in Des Moines, Iowa, getting set for first-round action between the Ohio Valley Conference Tournament champions, the Austin Peay Governors, out of Clarksville, Tennessee, taking on the #1 overall seed of this tournament, the Kansas Jayhawks, at 30-4, with the winner to take on Connecticut here in Des Moines on Saturday. Connecticut a winner here already today over Colorado. Welcome back, friends. Jim Nance, Grant Hill, Bill Raftery, and Tracy Wolf. So this is what makes the tournament so fun.
Yep.
You get the team like Austin Peay, had to win 4 games in 4 days as an 8th seed in their own conference tournament, and here they are, taking on the giant Kansas.
You can feel the magic. Of course, Chris Horton, a terrific low-post player. They're going to have to change defenses, but I think the big story, can they get back and match up, because Kansas is dynamite pushing the ball.
Yes, they are dynamite. Kansas, the #1 team in the country, #1 seed in the South. They have to come out, play hard, not overlook this Governor Ball Club, and just, it's more about them, what they can do, not so much what Austin Peay does.
Well, let's check the starters in this game for the Governors. Chris Horton, Billy, you mentioned him, the senior, averaging 19 points, 12 rebounds a game. And Perry Ellis, unanimous Big 12 first-teamer, averaging 17 and 6. The Jayhawks, the Big 12 regular season and tournament champions. There on the bench for the Governors in his 26th year, Dave Luce. This is his 800th game as a coach. Been there for so long, they actually named the court after him. And there's Bill Self in his 13th year. So let's get into the action here. Austin Peay and Kansas is underway.
Jim Nance, Grant Hill right now. The Governors! They get my vote. They start at minimum.
Wait, and it only took 5 seconds before a whistle.
Quick foul.
Testing the P and the whistle early. A.J. Desai.
Josh Robinson of Austin Peay whistled for a quick hack.
This team really moves the ball, set up high-low, nice screen. Lucas, great rebounder, great roadblock screener.
Selden doubled up to Graham, back to Selden, on the wing, and an opening 3.
Is he making that shot this year?
Yes, he is.
40% three.
Austin Peay 18 and 17 on the year. They had to win those 4 games in the conference tournament to get above 500. In fact, they very nearly missed out on making the conference tournament, which they hadn't competed in since 2012. That's how far back in the pack they had been. That ball is long. The shot put up by Kenny Jones. And now Graham and the Jayhawks take off. Here's Selden again.
Coach, Kansas so good in transition. You got to get back. Transition defense is a must for the Govs here today.
And Horton's going to have a hard time. Lucas is bellying him out. Boy, tough shots early.
Oh, but he gets it to go. Josh Robinson.
How about that? Josh can dance to a 3 and mix it up with a mid-range game and drive it as well.
Now Mason wants to put one up. It's going the other way.
Big Lucas, I think, with the roadblock.
Yep.
Talked about the ability of Horton, but Robinson, one of those guys, he's got a pull-up jumper. Look at him square. Rise and knock that baby down.
Coach, he's played with so much confidence. They moved him from the shooting guard to the point guard position, inserted Jared Savage into the starting lineup, and really have been on a roll since Josh Robinson's handled the duties at the point guard position.
This is the 7th all-time appearance in the NCAA tournament field for Austin Peay. 45th for Kansas.
Nice cut.
Cutting to the basket, and the reach-in call is going to be on Selden.
I think they got him. You're right. A little late on the cut. A nice little dive to the rim. You mentioned Savage. They are hugging him. He's a catch-and-shoot guy. He can drill him.
Can't give that young man any space. One of the best shooters in basketball, especially when he gets his feet set.
That ball picked off by Kansas, but right back with it from the Govs.
That's what you have to do. Get back. Identify. Nice ball screen and roll.
Up and in.
Kenny Jones, and here comes Jones.
Austin Peay leads Kansas 4-3, but the putback by Lucas gives the Jayhawks a 5-4 advantage.
And you talk about him, Coach, saying he's a professional rebounder, doing what he does best. The big fella.
strong in that box. He pushes Horton out a few feet. Great spacing to help.
Here's Horton. Going to stay at this end with 10 to shoot.
And we talked about transition on this end. Nice move by Jones, finishing with the left. And then you got to box out Lucas on the other end.
Here's Jones again.
Great control of the pivot foot. There's that rising ability to drill.
Jared Savage.
I'll tell you, that kid is one of the most confident shooters I've seen all year.
Well, he showed it there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Selden driving in. He lost it on the way. He's going to stay with Kansas.
And Savage, one of those guys with the hands on that end. Don't let the hair fool you. It doesn't get in his eyes when he's stroking. Get those puppies organized, and what an ability to release quickly.
Had a foot on the line. A 2-point basket by Savage, a family steeped in Austin Peay history. And there he is with the rebound. Savage at the other end.
What a nice start he's had.
Here's Robinson. You know, when you're this big of an underdog, you got to take it 4-minute windows at a time.
Absolutely. Just be within hailing distance each time out. And they're playing with a lot of confidence, though. What an end of the year for Dave Luce.
It's Davis on the floor, needing help, and trying to get it out to Horton. But on the line was Lucas. So
what are they going to do with the clock, Jim? That's a big thing. Was there control? If they put a full 30 up, I don't know if there was real control.
They got 30 up there now. I guess they ruled it change of possession.
They're going to take a look. That's what's great about the alternate official, too, don't you think?
And they're going to have a chance, too, for these teams to go back to the benches and visit for a moment.
How about the poise not going out of bounds? Is that loose? Let's see if he's got... I'd call that control, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think that's control.
By the way, Frank Mason defensively is some tiger. Rises to the occasion, doesn't mind who he has to play with, Buddy Hield or somebody he hasn't heard of.
And that's going to be the challenge for the Govs, the defensive intensity of Kansas. They have the ability to notch it up, and you got to value the basketball every possession.
They're going to bring it down to 3 on the shot clock.
Guess we were wrong.
Well, seldom are you wrong, but I'm accustomed to being that way. I guess they figured just to have 2 hands to control it, maybe.
Robinson in time, and it never touched the rim. Can they get it to the under 16 with the lead? Walk them to the benches by declaring they lead Kansas.
You know, I think they are a confident group, to be honest with you. Whether they're ahead or behind, or they play loose on the offensive end. To get where, as you noted, they went to the tournament, win games, the pressure on them has been incredible just to get here.
Look at Ellis. Perry Ellis down on the blocks.
He can undress you. He can step out that low box area as well.
Here's Robinson, moved to the point late in the season, and it's made a difference as Mason is whistled for that one.
And Perry Ellis for Kansas loves that left shoulder on the block. Nice, easy touch. When Ellis gets the ball that low in the paint, pretty effective, high percentage down there on the block.
He comes to work every day, though. So every time I've ever seen him, he's given you everything. Great performance. Been around a long time.
Yes, he has.
Seems longer than 4.
Jamari Traylor, number 31. He's been around for a long time, too. He's on the floor right now defending. As Horton puts up the shot too strong.
Going the other way.
It's going to be called on Austin Peay. That last foul was on Jared Savage of Austin Peay, but this is a Austin Peay team that's been playing with a purpose, and now the Powerade sideline report. Here's Tracy with more.
That's right, Jim. This Austin Peay team is not only playing for an NCAA tournament win, they're playing for 6-year-old Ryan Luce, head coach Dave Luce's granddaughter, who was diagnosed with cancer back in October. October. She right now is watching from her hospital room in Sloan Kettering in New York City with her mother and her father, Brad, who's the head coach of Missouri. Hashtag Rally for Ryan has been everywhere. We saw the wristband from the shooting shirts, and Austin Peay just wants to continue winning so they can continue to bring awareness of pediatric cancer and Ryan's fight, Jim.
Well, thank you, Tracy. Ryan, I know you are watching. This team absolutely loves you. And here's a call against Kansas.
And talking to Grandpa yesterday, so touching and so emotional for that family.
Early in the season, he set up a practice schedule so that they practiced Sunday through Thursdays before the game started. And he and his wife then would drive 7 hours to Missouri to be there with their family, and then drive back for Sunday practice. And that's blocked down low by Traylor.
Terrific play, but great analysis by Kansas. Closing down.
Down the Traylor, double up. On the floor, Ellis.
Kansas taking advantage of their height and size inside. Nice little pass to Ellis down low.
And you can do everything right. And look at the rotation, just the power, the strength, and ability to move people and bodies.
You can watch live games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming devices with NCAA March Madness Live. Watch now at ncaa.com/March Madness or download the app today.
Coach, it'll be interesting for the Govs here. Chris Horton, their best player, who's really dominated in the Ohio Valley Conference, but he's not going against bigs the size of a Kansas, so yet to get involved as that guy gets himself involved. Savage.
He can jack him, but you're right. He's being moved off the box, extricated because of that physicality you allude to. But he really can afford. This kid is so strong, Sheldon, makes them play different lineups.
And Cy Traylor's the one who comes out with it. Graham gave it up at the end to Selden, floater.
They got a gang rebound, this team. That's what they're trying to do. Can't give second opportunities to the Jayhawks. I'll give it the first shot here. You ready?
Mikhailuk.
Hey. Normally I'm third in the lineup when it comes to pronunciation. I was working in the room all night on that one. In between lemonades.
Mikhailuk, 6'9" sophomore from Ukraine.
He can really shoot it, Coach.
He sure can. They can use him. I love this guy. He's such a competitor.
That's Mason off the glass.
He just goes so hard so often. Think of it. He was going to go to Towson, which is amazing.
Here's a pass over to Davis. His team that hit the school record 16 threes in the Ohio Valley final. Ellis alone underneath.
And what a tremendous rim run. Great pass by the second point guard for Kansas.
But you're right, they're complimented by the run. That's what makes them tough. All five. Get the puppies up and down. You got to match it.
And it's a tie-up. It's going to stay at this end as Horton is trying to make a move.
And Jimmy, if anything, you got to get back and make sure, out of the picture here is a guy who just gets up and down beautifully. Perry Ellis, such a matchup difficulty for people because he can play multi-positions and foot speed to complement.
Austin Peay without a basket now for 4 minutes. Now it's Robinson. And Traylor has hold of Horton. Will stay right here. Horton is not only Austin Peay's all-time shot blocker, but he was the #1 offensive rebounder in Division I this year.
How about that? And he's going to have a hard time getting many today, though, because of the difference in the size and bulk. I think you'd love to play for Austin Peay, by the way. You can chuck and duck. You get a good look, right?
Austin Peay's missed his last 5 shots. Here's Kenny Jones, who made one earlier.
This guy right here, Josh Robinson, has to play big.
How about that move?
Pretty. I mean, they play confidently. No question about it.
Second basket for Robinson quickly at the other end.
A guy who can really fill it up, Green.
Yeah, Brandon Green unable to find it.
A couple of threes in the Big 12 championship. He gets them going.
And that's a foul on Mikhailuk. Austin Peay State University in Clarksville, which is right on the border between Tennessee and Kentucky. Fort Campbell is nearby. Enrollment over 10,000. James Fly Williams, there's a New York, if you will, playground legend.
Unbelievable.
Made his way down there.
Talk about range and confidence. He was incredible. What a great run he had a few years ago in the tournament. A little banging in the lane.
Fly Williams, there he was.
Ooh.
Hey, he averaged 29 a game 1 year down there. You know who recruited him to Austin Peay? It's hard to believe.
Yes, Leonard.
No, you don't. Leonard Hamilton.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Leonard Hamilton, of course, a little connection with Bill Self, too. Back in the Oklahoma State days.
He could score and shoot like Bill Raftery.
Well, thank you for the compliment.
Speaking of
erroneous as it may be.
New York area street legend, Raftery. Robinson.
A lot of bouncing and going nowhere.
And getting hounded.
Yeah.
Able to give it up. Here's Davis.
Nice.
Follow up, no. Could not quite pick it off the floor. Graham. And he's bumped outside by Robinson.
And he has played so well. Devontae Graham, Big 12 MOP of the conference tournament. Another point guard, playmaker on the court for Kansas.
Are you talking about his hair, MOP, or are you talking about
his hair and his game?
He is a talented kid.
That's a foul on the inbounds pass called against Porter Bunton.
The great thing about, you talk about the stars for Kansas, they guard. They get after you. And Graham, an excellent defender.
Zach Glotta comes in, number 45 for the Governors.
And you got to hug Green. Terrific, deep threat.
Here's Graham. One hop. It's a rebound to Austin Peay and a foul on Green.
Yeah, he just pulled the shirt. Got to be careful.
Now look, there are folks out there that know all about Austin Peay having been in the tournament before, because they've actually won a couple of games. Back in 1973, they defeated Jacksonville back in the Artist Gilmore days. You know,
wow.
Jacksonville, Hugh Durham.
Fennis Bembo? No, that's the wrong
that was
club.
Wyoming.
That's Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Who am I thinking of the other big? They had a 7-footer there.
And they went on
Gilmore.
No, with them.
Oh, with
the
them.
sidekick, yeah.
But then they went on to lose to Kentucky in overtime in the next round. But then back in 1987, they defeated Illinois in the first round. Animal Kingdom, by the way, from the creator of Shameless and Southland. The new series premieres this June on TNT. So they won back in '87 against Illinois. They had that tournament win back in '73.
And I'll tell you what, give Austin Peay credit here. 8 minutes into the first half, and it's a 2-point ball game.
Yeah.
They're loose. They're really loose.
No, their coach is loose.
That's right. Hang loose with the Governors.
Big Dave loose, though, at 69. Turned 69 on the day they won their conference tournament. Drive it in, no. Tapped around, picked up by Lucas.
What a great rebounder he is. They burn
From the corner, Mikhailuk.
They give second opportunities up. Kansas says thank you. Drills it.
Here's John Murray.
You can score him on out of crossing traffic.
Yeah, it was taken away by Traylor. Foul called on Murray.
And you talk about Lucas. He's a professional offensive rebounder. Getting the board, and of course finding the open shooter. Kansas up 5.
There's Bill Raftery arriving at the arena this morning.
Those glasses, tough to do a game with those glasses on. Some of my friends, some of them got home a little later than I did.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Let's take a look behind the stats presented by LG. And you see, first appearance for the Governors since '08 in the tournament. Wow, it's a 14-game winning streak for the Jayhawks coming in.
Southern with a high-low entry. Ellis doesn't make many mistakes.
Kailuk has hit 2 now from beyond the arc.
And you can't leave him.
No, and a kick out too. Ellis doesn't make, just understands the game. Horton get a little rest, really unable to contribute. They got to make these open looks.
That was Jope, who's just come into the game. Hassan Jope from Senegal.
Once again, a little high-low look. They do a great job of sealing, looking for the ball reversal, reading the D.
Tyson snaps it back over Selvin. Murray on him.
And charge too. Oh, they got a block. But anytime you leave your feet, it's usually a problem. But the ability to get the ball inside, the seal here, whether the entry comes here or here, it's extremely successful. They read the D. Here, no great pressure on the entry, but you don't go up and make a mistake. Kick it out. Kailuk open, normally nails it.
Jope called for the foul.
But on that last play, Coach, you can't help off of a shooter. You got to know your personnel. And Kailuk, one of the best shooters in college basketball, can't leave him.
No, absolutely. You know, he put 17 pounds on. And if he starts playing with some confidence, what an add-on he is.
I think it was 17 pounds of muscle. As Horton has returned to the floor for the Governors. Their leading scorer has taken only 1 shot so far, missed it.
Now, the difficulty is up front, they are so thin. They're going to have to go start eating with the cheerleading group who know how to dive.
We happened to see it here last night. Great group of kids.
They were terrific.
Here's Savage. And
nice job.
And good job there by Horton. And there he is on the board.
That's right. Go chase it. If you can't get a touch and they're pushing you around, just drop step, get that inside position, and there they are. They ate better than we did, folks.
Yeah, it was nice of you to pick up the check last night.
Marty Kay's not looking at their expenses.
So they didn't blow the athletic budget. Here is Ellis as Lucas gets the offensive board and right over Porter Bunton.
And you talk about Horton not being able to get involved, but go get the basketball off the glass. The best offensive rebounder in all of basketball. Great timing, anticipation, desire. That's how he has to play here to be effective.
So that foul called on Chris Porter Bunton. It nearly looked like Lucas had landed on him. It's a 1-and-1 for Lucas, a junior from Portland, Oregon, who grew up in Japan. His father played basketball for Don Munson at Oregon. Talking about the free throw shooter here, Landon Lucas. His dad, Richard, playing pro ball over there in Japan, so that's where Landon really had his growing years.
Yeah, Don was quite a coach. And of course, his son at Long Beach State, Dan claims he's the architect of the Gonzaga program. I said, you made the program when you went to Minnesota.
Nice. You can only say that because he's your friend. But another nice run of coaches they've had there.
Oh, absolutely. There's Mark Few's got him going again. They play Seton Hall.
And Lucas gets them both. It's a 10-2 stretch for the Jayhawks.
I like the way they ice it one way, trying to run the play the other.
Robinson is blocked. Actually blocked it almost with his elbow, did Lucas.
Yeah, they felt it went off the red shirt as well. A great addition to this starting team, I think, Lucas. I think it's really turned their season around, Jim. Look at this now. He may be right, too, at the end. Yep, right off the leg.
And Austin Peay has to run some offense. Can't go one-on-one against this Kansas defense. One of the best defense here in the country. Is a short shot clock here for the Govs.
Robinson, beautiful move.
A nice little discovery there and just tardy on the cover.
Coming off a 25-point performance against Belmont in the semifinals of the conference tournament. And 20 in the finals as they again get Lucas free underneath.
That Belmont game was a great game.
How about that? Coming down to the wire as Robinson misses the jumper, pulled down by Davis.
Boy, nice reaction on the glass.
And Savage.
Short.
And Selvin made that shot difficult. Here's Mason racing ahead. Ooh, lays it up short.
Okay, once again, Ellis putting the pressure. He's got some motor, doesn't he?
Yeah, he runs the court so hard. Does the little things that help a team. That play created the open opportunity for Mason.
Here's Savage. He's got a chance this time. And misses the open look.
A much better shot, though.
Selden slashing and getting fouled. The shot dropped, but it was outside of that call on Savage, his second.
Yeah, really good.
And Coach, now Selden, so good in the open court. First time seeing him in person play, but so strong with the basketball and just has a football player's body. So athletic.
They bring in Graham, they bring in Traylor as Lucas goes to the bench. Mikhailuk hit a couple of threes, also goes out.
Now you bring Traylor in, obviously the size, rebounding, block shots. I mean, I think they're deep up front, and they complement with their guys that can get in the lane that Grant mentioned. Selden, a nice ball open. Graham with a look. Look at this hustle.
What a good Traylor. He's made a couple of hustle plays. Sets up this one. Tapped around, controlled, then in the end by Horton.
See if they can get Horton going a little bit. See if he can step out a little bit. Ball screen roll.
That's Murray trying to create. On the floor again. Traylor. Hustle everywhere.
Numbers.
Graham. Lob.
Boy, he set that up with the dribble. Just back there. I thought he forgot his man. I thought he was being a little bit selfish, Grant and Jim, but it's just a wonderful understanding of how to use the bounce. Give your guy a chance to get to the rim. A little fade dribble. Send it in, big fella. Impressive. KU in the open floor. Impossible.
Greg Gumbel in New York with an All-State Good Hands update in Providence. West Regional play over on CBS. 12th seed Yale looking for the upset over number 5 Baylor. Shooting close to 60% in the game. They lead at 57-48. Jim.
Wow. Thank you, Greg. And how about this? If Yale wins, you've got Grant Hill against Calvin Hill. Their alma maters would meet in the second round. Be interesting inside the family.
It will be very interesting. My dad will probably talk a lot of trash if that were to happen.
I can't believe he would do that with you.
That's a 9-point lead. The winner again to take on Duke on Saturday in Providence. Here is down low. Horton. And look at Kansas come up with it. The second block. Mason, no whistle, put back off the front of the rim. And it's going back to the Govs.
Well, some coaches are a little more relaxed than others, even when you play Kansas at Jayhawks, so tough. But Coach Dave Luce, the ability to negate underneath and just the real understanding. Hang loose, Dave Luce.
Coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament is sponsored by Lowe's, Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and by Nationwide.
Yeah, it's a hot ticket. People racing in as Austin Peay is down 12 to Kansas. 2 9s have already won today. UConn over Colorado here, and Butler knocking out Texas Tech. And Duke had 3 players with 20-plus points. In fact, Marshall Plumlee, career-high 23 in the win against UNC Wilmington. And they do not beat the 10 count across midcourt.
How many Plumlee have?
23.
He's not, I mean, he used to have that in layups, I think. But he's really turned, those 3 guys, the 3 brothers, have improved so much in their 4 years, don't you think?
No, I agree. And Plumlee, as a senior, had an injury early in his career, but played big today, and they're going to need that performance from Blue Devils.
As Ellis scores underneath.
That little 2-3 zone, they just eat it up. High-low.
Is there a better team at running the high-low than Kansas?
I don't think so. And they don't have to do it with size either, although they have plenty of that. It's just being in the right position, know how to pass.
Here's Davis on the run. That trailer now with his 6th rebound. He's got 6 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block.
Look at this kid go coast to coast, too.
We're talking about his hustle plays. Well, the numbers bear it out.
A lot of energy. That's what he brings to the floor. Offensive rebounding as well.
How about an assist if this drops? And that's Kenny Jones pulling it away for the Governors. Up ahead, it's Murray, and it slips off the front of the rim. He'll shoot a couple.
Well, you haven't called Horton much. A little slow getting down the floor, but this is just gorgeous basketball, Grant. Look at the seal, the protection, and they got that angle. You move them up enough so that they can lob it towards the corner of the glass. Just solid play. Ellis and the completion.
Second foul on Selden. You just mentioned Horton not getting down the floor that quickly. Let's not forget he had an ankle sprain that limited him in the Ohio Valley title game against Tennessee Martin. He played only 8 minutes, has gone through all kinds of treatment. And since that game was, they got their tournament bid on March 5th. So he's had 12 days, but I'm sure it's not easy for him right now.
You really have to get up and down to match up with the forwards of Kansas.
And to his credit, he got hurt in the first half, but came back in.
Look at that guy work.
That's Traylor. Unable to convert. Put back is good by Bragg.
Well, that trailer's not for sale or rent, I'll tell you. He is amazing on the glass.
Yale's lead over Baylor is now 12 with 7.5 to play. That game on CBS. As now the Austin Peay Governors get it down on the blocks.
Look opposite
to Horton. Big step, left hand. Doesn't get it to go.
Well, one of the few times he's been able to attempt to bring it about.
Govs have missed their last 6 from the floor. Bragg's pass is taken away.
Horton wanted it, didn't get it to him.
Murray.
You got to get him going. Go.
Here he is.
There you go.
There you go. His 2nd basket of the game.
Tell you what, though, I like his attitude, too. They passed him up, just kept playing.
Well, he had a game in the Ohio Valley Conference Tournament of 37 points and 21 rebounds. On their way to getting to that tournament final and then winning it.
And maybe that shot right there can get him going a little bit. Hasn't really been involved, not getting touches down low.
Maybe a lot of ball screens again. They get a little bump to get the clean look. Mikhailuk
for the 3rd time, a triple.
And just a little thing. Diallo with the bump to get him free.
Kansas is too good to zone. Can't zone them for too long. They figure it out.
You can't do anything too long, right? Against them.
Give it to him.
Trailer looking and sniffing to help.
Here he is, Horton back out. With 7 to shoot now. Robinson, he's been good on the drive. Blocked this time, though, by Bragg.
Look at the run out again. Nobody back.
He scores.
They just are relentless.
Horton hitting the floor, trying to get back in position, but he's back up.
Check Diallo, one of those kids, couple of years. He's really a talented player. He's won MVPs in Jordan games and hoop summits, and just learning how to play.
So Murray is fouled on the shot. Kansas starting to pull away here.
Yes, they are, Jim. Doing it on both ends of the floor. Collectively playing well. Kansas up big.
Well, Kansas getting 13 points off the bench. 0 for 7 from the 3-point range for the Governors. Raft on round ball.
Well,
once a high-low here, Billy.
They've done this so well over the years. Bill Self, the team understands ceiling low, the high-low opportunity. You really got to do a job on the pressure.
And Ellis, you're a big guy, running the floor hard. You got to reward him. Can't give up easy baskets like that for the Govs. Kansas, though, doing it a number of different ways on the offensive end here early.
There's Murray at the line. Who's going to make the most shots? Who has more points in the second half? Play the Capital One NCAA Tournament Run Game on NCAA.com and in the March Madness Live app. Yeah, we got that alliteration, Raft on round ball, but Grant's take We need to come up with something a little spicier than that. Come on.
I thought Wolf would come up with something a little better than that.
Wolf.
I got one, Grant's Tomb.
Okay.
And
That's a little deadly, I think.
That's kind of a...
By the way, I had checked Diallo in the game before. Had the numbers confused, 13 to 15. Bragg, as you noted, doing a pretty good job on the other end.
It's Mason. And Kansas getting a big lift here off the bench by Mikhaili and by Traylor. 8 to shoot for Mason.
Well, he really dances well with the ball.
Here's Bragg.
How about that? You're stuck. Just give it to most guys don't want it that late in the shot clock.
How about Kansas? 6 different Jayhawks with an assist. But hey, when your top 6 scorers shoot better than 44% and 40% on threes, it's a little easy to get assists if you're the Jayhawks.
How about the
Look at
denial?
Bragg. Yeah, he denies the entry pass. Mason, he is hacked.
Well, he is strong. You need leadership, and I think they've got ample in the backcourt. 3 guys I think can play the point. Mason probably the superior of the 3, but just the ability, 4 seconds left on the clock. And Bragg just getting the puppies organized and drilling. But this is the choreographer, the Bob Fosse of this club.
Well, he's not from Chicago, though. He's from Petersburg, Virginia. His Traylor, who's from Chicago. And Bill Self. 301 wins over 500. His record at Kansas.
What do you think of the 12 titles
in a row?
It's unbelievable.
I mean, you're not talking about just any conference.
What's he have 9 losses in Allen Fieldhouse, so he has more Big 12 championships than losses at home.
It's amazing.
It is incredible.
Kenny Jones, quick with that one. Nice move by Kenny Jones.
It sure was. Off the timeout, getting something at the post.
Junior from South Bend, Indiana. It's Ellis, though, right back trying to match it. And it's off the Governors.
And pretty good defense inside by Jones as well.
And pretty good hands, you're right.
But you've seen Bill Self's Kansas teams through the years. Is this his most complete team?
I think it's one of the deepest, particularly up front. He goes 10-11 if he wants to. Nice little dump, but good traffic.
Yeah, it was Davis who was nifty on that battle for it, and it's off Kansas. Coming up on AT&T at the half, get caught up on all the latest tournament news, highlights, updates coming up on AT&T at the half, and I'm sure a lot of that halftime is going to also revolve around that Yale-Baylor game that's approaching 4 minutes left and a 6-point lead by Yale.
Unbelievable what happens in the tournament.
Those Bulldogs.
You'll be rooting for them, huh?
I grew up in Payne Whitney Gym in New Haven, Connecticut.
They didn't sign you early, huh? They didn't
recruit me.
Well, there you go. Robinson fouled.
You thought you'd be a defensive liability if you came there.
That's true. I had to learn how to play defense from Coach K.
Josh Robinson, sophomore from St. Louis. They moved him late in the season, guys, from the 2-guard to the point, and they've won 6 games in a row since they made that change.
And they did, and he the first 20 games, Robinson averaged about 13 a game, but since that move has been at 20 a game, and really partially responsible for the Austin Peay Govs being here in the tournament with his stellar play.
He's can handle it. And they've certainly helped him, got better direction. Raining really quiet because they've been going so deep. Not a whole lot of minutes. Look at this kid. Alone going to the rim.
Oh, is he ever.
Oh, decimating.
That might be a flagrant foul right there.
Yeah, they're going to go over and
take a look.
Take a look at it.
You think it was an attempt at the ball?
I can't. He grabbed his shoulder there. Might have been going for the ball. But
anytime you put that look, hammer, sledge look, it gets the attention of the officials. I don't think he meant any to be malicious at all.
Flagrant one, then?
Yes.
And that's what it is.
Jeff Anderson coming over.
Ball out of bounds to Kansas.
Yeah, he wanted Grant to explain this one. Over there. Grant, you take your headset off.
Yeah, it seems as though Raph and Jeff Anderson have some bad blood there.
Some history there.
What's going on?
I don't like his attitude.
They call it a flagrant one.
I think they heard over there. The alternate official may have been tuned in. You can't blame for that.
Nah, absolutely.
No,
That's a little raft on round ball and Grant's take. Grant's tomb.
We're working on that, Wolf.
How about Hill's highlights?
I like that one. That's creative.
HH.
Got to stay with the alliteration of a raft on round ball. Minute 45 to go in the first half.
Just still playing hard, outmanned physically in so many ways. Austin Peay.
That's what you love. They're down 20, but still competing, understanding, and not taking for granted this opportunity to play on this stage.
And a nice little ball screen empty side for Bragg's jumper. Nice.
Look at Robinson.
Yeah.
Kid's made some moves to the hoop, hasn't he?
He sure has.
He's got
nice
10 points.
Player.
10 of their 24.
Second team OVC. Always looking to be unselfish this team and make the extra pass. Well, Bragg has done some nice things.
Called on Horton. You know, Austin Peay has the 8th seed in its conference tournament. And the shocker was that game you referenced earlier, the Belmont semifinal game, because it was played in Nashville, Belmont's hometown. We saw Belmont last year in the tournament. They beat Belmont 97-96. Is Craig Bradshaw. You remember him last year?
Sure do. Yeah.
He had a shot at the end that would have won it, but they had to go to the review. It was clearly late. Fractions,
exactly.
But it was late.
That was one of the best games I've watched this year. Unbelievable what happens during championship week and, of course, NCAA play.
And Coach Rick Bird and that team at Belmont, though.
What a coach.
Was such an impressive group to watch last year in the NCAAs. I'm sure there'll be more coming up for them years ahead.
And their academic reputation at EPR is extraordinary. One of the tops, if not the tops in the country.
Could have played there, Coach.
Academically or basketball-wise?
Kansas foul there on Devontae Graham, his second. So Robinson will go back to the line. You might be saying Austin Peay. Now, who was that named for? It's named for the governor of Tennessee back in the 1920s. Alas, the governors.
Was that during Prohibition? Certainly didn't want to.
Back to that.
Certainly didn't want to visit. If
that's why you didn't go there, Coach.
About 45 miles northwest of Nashville, and here's Robinson with one more.
Hope he looked better than the governor there.
You know, we call you the governor a lot of times, so I thought maybe with the governor in the house, this might be a little tighter than 19 at the moment. A little governor caucus here in Iowa.
Right. Everywhere we go, Raph knows everybody.
That's right. Ellis.
Love the way this kid plays. Head and shoulder. Head and shoulder fake for a guy who is lacking follically.
13. Follically. 13 for Ellis. 5-second differential here. Shot clock. Robinson with quick fire and another three. He's having a nice game.
And he has been the lone bright spot thus far in the first half for the Govs. But the Jayhawks up big.
You know, we said we'd take a look at our retirement plan today.
Not now. Cleaning the oven.
Yeah, I'm cleaning the gutters.
Washing the dog.
Washing the cat.
Well, I'm learning Snap Champ.
Chat.
Changing the oil.
It's surprising what people would rather do than deal with retirement.
Pressure washing that roses.
Aerating the lawn.
Though with Nationwide, it's no big deal.
Okay, your retirement plan is all set.
Nationwide. Awesome.
Nice neighborhood.
Nationwide is on your side.
Choose your favorite player on the court or for your taste with Coca-Cola and the NCAA tournament. We got 21 seconds to go in the first half. Let's see what Kansas can execute out of the timeout. It's the kind of thing Bill Self's looking at to really build off of in a game like this, of one that he expects his team to be able to advance, and we'll see how they pull off moments like this.
We'll ball screen and watch box to box underneath.
Mason.
Didn't need anything. With the blow by ability by the little guy. Got to shoot it.
Robinson, who has half of Austin's Peay's 28 points. It's a 48-28. Kansas lead at the intermission. Led by Elvis's 13. Mikhailuk's 11. And Bill Self is standing by with Tracy.
Coach, you held this team to just 37% shooting. How would you categorize your defense in the first half?
I thought it was pretty good. Of course, we let Robinson go crazy on us towards the end. We got to keep the ball in front of us a lot better, though.
Up 20 points going into the half. How do you approach the second half, making sure your team doesn't let up?
Well, I don't think we will. I don't think we thought we played very well. So we need to go out and get after them. And you know, we're fortunate they missed some shots, but we can execute a lot better.
Thanks a lot, Jim.
All right, Tracy. That's the end of the first half with the score Kansas 48, Austin Peay 28. If you want to go to the Yale-Baylor finish, remember it's over on CBS. We're going to send you, in the meantime, to AT&T at the half. After these messages, you're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Jayhawks rolling along here in Des Moines, up 20 at halftime.
AT&T at the half is presented by AT&T, mobilizing your world.
And everybody, Matt Weiner in our Atlanta studio. Coach Ron Hunter, Wally Zerbiak, and Seth Davis along. Little Rock and Purdue happening right now on TBS, and a good one on CBS between Yale and Baylor. The Bulldogs back in the tournament for the first time since 1962. Taking on Scott Drew's Bears. Head coach James Jones. Makai Mason.
Looking for an angle.
Pulling up. A career-high 27 on the afternoon.
Early flamethrower candidate right there. He's making big shots for this Yale team. They're competing on the boards. Taurean Prince, though, he is bringing the thunder. He's had some spectacular finishes trying to get Baylor back in the game.
At least 3 dunks in this game. Second half, Ishmael Wainwright. Watch it, Hal. For the bucket, Baylor up by 1. Justin Sears, 2-time Ivy League Player of the Year with a bucket there.
Hal wearing clown shoes again?
Blake Reynolds to Sam Downey. It's a 10-1 Bulldog run.
They can't guard him in this man. They got to get out this man-to-man. They can't do it.
Yale up by 9. Whoa. Rico Gathers and Prince.
That's a problem.
That's a problem.
That's a problem.
Getting after each other.
That's not. Hey, it lit a fire, by the way. It lit a fire.
Under Prince, no question.
Mason with another bucket.
It's brother on brother. That's like me and Wally in the production meeting.
That put him up by 13. This is Sears with the block.
Sears
on
Tower.
Wainwright. Sears Tower.
I like that.
Very nicely done.
I like that.
Yale is the second in the country in rebound margin, and we know that Baylor's a great rebounding team as well, but Rico Gathers is not getting a lot of minutes. He's giving a lot of pep talks, but not getting a lot of minutes.
The frustration. I tell you, the frustration of losing in the first round starting to build up. They see it starting to slip away a little bit, and that's not a good moment for them.
This would be the first ever win for Yale in the NCAA tournament, and the second straight year that Baylor goes down in the opening round, because that happened last year, as Ron Hunter is well aware. RJ, now a Boston Celtic, put away the Baylor Bears.
Got a 2-point game.
Down went Coach Hunter. What a great moment.
Baylor's now down.
That never gets old.
That never gets old, not at all. And I tell you what, it is a 2-point game, and it comes right back in. They're almost in the same situation again. We're in the same situation. You had to foul, and actually they're in the reverse of it, actually. They're actually down in this regard. I'm not quite sure they wanted that particular foul. You found the wrong guy in that particular
Can I just say one thing? Because the only person watching us now and not the game is my mom. So, Mom, you can go to CBS. It's okay. You don't have to watch us.
That's not true. Plenty of people watching us. This happened a moment ago.
Wow, big steal. Cut it to 2.
Yeah, that was a big play. But they didn't need a foul. Just right now, just play solid defense. No reason to foul right here.
We'll keep you updated on this game as we continue here at the half. Eventually get you back for the second half of Kansas and Austin Peay, but keeping a close eye on Yale and the Bears. Keeping our eye on Yale and Baylor. An offensive foul called on Baylor, and Yale goes to the free throw line up by 4. Third broadcast window coming up on TNT. It's Buffalo and Miami. Chattanooga and Indiana on CBS. Florida Gulf Coast will go for a second win, which would be historic if they can take down #1 North Carolina. And Fresno State, Utah on True TV. Virginia had no issues on the court taking care of Hampton this afternoon, but the story was head coach Tony Bennett. Reggie Johnson with the bucket here, lays it home for the Pirates. But this was no contest.
Yeah, this got away from him really early.
Intrastate schools, Anthony Gill with the jumper, and then Gill turns over the left shoulder, a little jump hook.
This is a #1 seed that I told you when 30 seconds into the game you realize, let's just enjoy it.
Enjoy the experience, guys.
Right.
Per diem, per diem. Free Wi-Fi for everybody.
Quentin Chivas, 17 to lead the Pirates. But Virginia in transition, it was Malcolm Brogdon.
Look at that pass.
Nice.
To Isaiah Wilkins. Beautifully done for Brogdon. London Parentis for 3.
He's been stroking it this year. His three-point shooting's been absolutely spectacular. And
he was 4 of 8 in this game. And watch closely on the sideline there. Coach Bennett goes to the floor there. Said he blacked out briefly. Thought maybe he was dehydrated and has to take a seat. Eventually walk off the floor with some assistance and allow his staff to take over. Second half, he's back. Seems no worse for wear. Easy for me to say sitting here. Malcolm Brogdon to Parentis for 3.
Never a game, never gave them a chance to think that they could possibly win. It was a clinic. The ACC has been quite used to this the last 3 years, Tony Bennett's teams.
This is how you keep the coach from blacking out. Just win by 30.
That's right.
12 threes.
That is good medicine right there, Coach.
That's great medicine, trust me.
Got to stay hydrated, Tony. You're a young man.
20 assists, just 5 turnovers for the Cavaliers. Afterward, the head coach with Lewis Johnson.
Well, Coach, first of all, how are you feeling?
Fine. I think I just was crouched down and was a little dehydrated and got up and just had blacked out a little bit, but I'm okay.
Right. It was a moment that scared all of us, and as we look back at it, I mean, do you know what happened?
I just think that I was crouched down in that spot, and you get up quick and you get a blood rush, so it'll be all right.
You feel okay to coach the second half?
Yeah, I hope so.
We all hope that as well. Virginia moves on in the bracket. We move on as well here at the half. We'll get you back to Austin Peay in Kansas.
One possession regardless.
Team Stream is back on Saturday, April 2nd. You can watch the Final Four on TBS. And then on Monday, April 4th, for the very first time, the National Championship game comes to TBS. If you'd like to watch team-specific broadcast tilted toward the teams in particular, it's biased coverage, purposely done. You can do so on TNT or True TV. 6.8 seconds to go in Providence. Yale leads Baylor.
Change the channel. Go to CBS.
75. Stop telling people to do that.
Why are you watching us?
Yale's going to the line. Yale's going to the line.
And Yale's going to the free throw line. This should be their very first NCAA tournament victory.
AT&T at the half is presented by AT&T, mobilizing your world.
Brilliant. How did you do that? You didn't even move your hands.
Go on the wrist, Schwartzy.
All right, another game.
Alexa, what time is it?
It's 5:43 p.m.
I've got a table reading at 6 o'clock. Alexa, how's the traffic?
The fastest route is 45 minutes to downtown.
Can we take the bike?
Come on, Schwartzy. Jason, get in the sidecar.
Coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament is sponsored by Amazon Echo, Buffalo Wild Wings, Geico, and by Cadillac.
And we're back here in Des Moines with Kansas leading it by 20. Second half about to begin, and let's take it over to Tracy with Coach Luce.
Coach, down 20 to a really talented Kansas team. What did you tell your team that you need to see from them in the second half?
Too many jump shots early, and we got to get the ball inside a little bit on the offensive end. And defensively, you know, we're giving up too many second chance points. They got a lot of offensive rebounds. I think they have 10 offensive rebounds to half.
Chris Horton, just 4 points. What do you need to see from him?
You'd throw him the ball. We shot a lot of jump shots early. We need to get the ball inside to Chris more, but he needs to post up deeper. He's stepping way out on the floor.
Thanks a lot. Jim?
All right, Tracy, during that interview, March Madness in full gear as Yale finishes it off against Baylor, knocking off the Bears. How about that?
That's incredible. You better be ready. No question about it. Just a great time of year.
It's going to be the Hill Bowl, if you will, then on Saturday as Grant's alma mater against Calvin's alma mater, Duke and Yale. Let's get back to this game now. You just heard the coach, his team trying to get it back inside for the second half. But, you expect this to be physically a bit of a mismatch when you got a 1 against a 16. What about the second half coming up here for the Governors?
Well, I agree with Coach Luce. You have to go inside to your horse. The guy that got you here to the tournament, Chris Horton, establish him early, get him some touches, see if he can get going.
Now that sounds great. I mean, they got 5 guys 50 pounds heavier.
That's
shoving them off the block.
That's hard to do.
It's tough. It really is hard for him, I think, physically.
50 pounds?
35 pounds.
Okay, all right.
I thought it might be more.
Lucas might be at my number.
You're looking at Chris Horton, who in that first half had 4 points, 5 rebounds. And let's see what Kansas can do here. Up 48-28, beginning the second half.
A nice lob to the box. Just a great little cross screen to the high-low, and then the wing dump down. Pretty basketball.
So Lucas now with 8 on the afternoon. And again, the winner of this game will be taking on Connecticut on Saturday here. Well, there's a nice shot. That's what the coach was talking about.
Exactly. And Jones in the right spot. Then penetration. You don't actually have to get a touch on the box. You can dribble drive and create.
And Graham bouncing it in underneath Mason. Bounce pass to Lucas, who scores again. 2 quick baskets out of the halftime break for Lucas.
And Kansas going inside out of the half. Nice little save by Mason, bounce pass. But the strength of Lucas to be able to finish. And Mason there almost lost the ball.
Got hit in the face with the ball.
He did.
And you're right about the strength as well. I mean, he can bring 3 people up with him. And he's a difference maker in this lineup, I think.
So Lucas now with 11 points to go along with 5 rebounds. And Davis is fouled at the other end.
A good aggressive move. And he's a catch and shoot guy. We can bounce it too. Up there with his glass shots.
And right now for the Govs, this is what you want to do. You want to try and get to the basket, get to the free throw line, put pressure. Obviously going inside to Horton. You know, it's difficult with the size of Kansas, but just stay aggressive. Be opportunistic, look for easy plays.
Now you're out, man, but you got to keep digging like this. And as we're talking about Savage outside shooting, a must for them, but good aggressive rebound. Oh, not a good look here by Selden.
And after nice hustle at the other end by Davis after the missed free throws, right back come the Governors. Firing a 3 is Savage.
Talk about catch and shoot. New meaning to rage, huh?
Yes, indeed. That young man can flat out shoot the basketball. But I like this little 3/4 court pressure. You know, Kansas, obviously, with the ball handlers and the playmakers, can attack it, but give them different looks and mix it up throughout the second half.
Well, Savage, again, his father Jermaine is in the school's Hall of Fame. He was a basketball player for Coach Luce back in the mid-90s. He was known as perhaps the best defensive player that Luce has ever coached.
And normally you hear about a guy who didn't score, but I think he averaged 17 points.
Big-time talent.
Yeah,
it's impressive.
And he's still playing some good defense. Is his dad? His dad is an investigator for the Kentucky State Police. He's in the field of defense, if you will.
It carries over into all aspects of life.
Who knew he was going to set all this up?
He doesn't have to worry about referees anymore.
Savage trying to make the steal. Mason feeds the corner. Ellis, open jumper. And nice job by Horton. Able to tap it and control it.
That's normally a knockdown shot for Ellis. He's perfect from that distance.
Robinson gives it up. He had half the Governor's points in the first half, 14 of their 28. Back in his hands here.
They just missed. Horton posted up inside as Josh Robinson is able to draw the foul. And there's a little bit of excitement there on the Govs bench, trying to encourage their teammates to get going. Horton was open. He's screaming for the ball, but they missed him. But that's how you have to post up, and that's what Dave Luce talked about at halftime with Tracy.
Third foul on Graham. By the way, Selden has 3 as well. And that first one for Robinson brings it to 18. Your teams, your highlights, your scores, all in one place. Download the Team Stream, the free app from Bleacher Report now.
You know, I envy Dave Luce's demeanor. He's so relaxed over there. I could have worked another 15 years as a coach if I acted like that. Just amazing capacity to be reasonable with his kids. And as you noted, the enthusiasm was terrific on the bench. Now, that was a
lot away from him.
Now, do you count that as a shot, by the way?
I don't think so.
The intention is what counts, I would imagine.
I just wonder, had you coached another 15 years, how many NCAA tournaments you would have been in?
It's a good question. Talk about intention.
Robinson. Kylo. Oh, he splits the defenders and lays it in.
Oh, what a terrific mini Euro move.
He's got a nice inside-outside game, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Playing with a lot more confidence, too.
Here they feed it down low to Horton.
Clear out, let him reset.
There you go.
Nice.
How about that? How good is that? And one.
All right, now we got it humming in that low box area.
I love that move right there. Going inside, giving up some size and weight. Nice little shoulder fake. Finish with the left hand.
They're doing a little fine dining on the floor as well as those cheering for the club.
His second foul on Lucas, who then snatches the rebound. All right, this is a team that came back from 19 down against Tennessee State during the Ohio Valley Conference tournament.
There's no quit in these kids, absolutely. But a tough season, not a good look here. You got to attract the man before you just dump it down.
Look for Savage.
How about this?
Davis! Khalil Davis is going to bring on a timeout by Kansas.
Right away, Bill Self goes for Graham. He needs some stopper, but this club knows how to hang tough. Put it on that deck. A little blow-by ability. Davis, bringing that bell strong. Well, if you're Irish, come into the parlor. There's a welcome on the mat. And if your name be Jimmy Grant or Bill, it's an old ditty.
How about a little river dance tonight off the Des Moines River after we get done with the fourth game? I'm going to go out with you.
I may need a little more than the coffee and water to deliver it here.
Selden to Ellis, decides to spin it to the other side and tapped out. Oh, right back to Kansas. On the floor with 10 to shoot. Mikhailuk. Oh, and it counts.
Well, they came out aggressively. Ellis, even though he fumbled it, you knew there was a little scathing conversation in the timeout. You come back with a terrific attack at the rim. It sets it up for a kick out and then a drive. Mikhailuk just stroking it deep, ringing the bell early.
That breaks the 10-2 stretch that the Governors had. Forced Bill Self to bring his team to the bench. Here's Davis, who was a big part of that little flurry. To Jones, stepping in, overshot it.
A nice challenge at the rim.
Here's Selden. He's got this shot. Nope.
Well, he's right on from here. A little hold, but a good call. Mason with the grab.
Selden likes that wing shot, and we've seen Marty knock it down. Foul on Mason. Under 16 to go here in Des Moines. March Madness continues tonight with 8 more first-round games across CBS, TBS, TNT, and True TV. You decide the games you want to watch. Game 3 here in Des Moines. We got Chattanooga against Indiana, and then Stony Brook and Kentucky in the final game of the day here.
I think we're going to have 2 good ones, too.
I do, too.
I agree. That Chattanooga team is very good.
Southern Conference tournament champions, regular season. Pretty.
I tell you, Coach, I'm impressed with Horton and his ability to pass out of the double teams. You know, in the Ohio Valley Conference, he probably got double teamed quite often, and his teammates are very much aware, cutting to the basket, but Horton posting up big and surveying and sees the double team.
I think your point is well taken. Both the ability to dive as well as him finding people. Just not standing there. Get to the hole.
It's the 3rd foul on Mason. Robinson leans in, and Graham got a hand on it.
Might as well shoot it when you're in there.
Here's Selden slashing and scoring and one.
Boy, he is a truck going to the rim. Those shoulders, strength, catapult. He has some of the most serious dunks, too, when you watch Kansas during the course of the year. This is just a little fashion delivery at the rim, but look at the strength and elevation. Hang, take the bang in, ring it home.
And 3-point play for Selden. Now gives him 10 for the game. Back to the 20-point margin the Jayhawks had at halftime.
Kansas has done a better job on the defensive end with Josh Robinson, who was very effective in the first half, hasn't been able to get going as Selden is called for a foul.
All right, Tracy, over to you.
Well, Jim, that is definitely going to frustrate Bill Self even more. That's what he said in his last time out. Play defense without fouling. And as for the energy this team came out with, he said, I told you guys that would happen. He said, you're playing too timid. You've got to attack. Jim?
And that was the 4th foul on Selden, as Davis will shoot one more. You also got the Jayhawks, Mason with 3, Graham with 3. So there's Selden heading out, and Green comes in.
He gives him a different punch, as we noted earlier, his ability to shoot the deep one. And Green just loosens up defenses with a terrific stroke, a little 2-2-1, and as advertised, a lot of changes by Dave Luce and his gang. Graham Key now runs the point. This is what makes them tough. A lot of guys can grab it out front. Selden, we mentioned Mason, and of course Graham. Curry with a great dive. Look at this.
And he's frustrated he didn't get the shot to drop, but he's heading back to the line.
And, Coach, he loves that move, driving left, spinning, getting back to his left shoulder as he finds the seam of the defense. But that little spin move and the ability to finish with that hook, pretty effective for Mr. Ellis.
Well, he also draws charges, or people get a charge on him because they anticipate that little move on occasion.
After the 2nd foul on Horton, Kansas's top scorer and rebounder each of the last 2 years gets that one to go. And Ellis now has 14 for the game. Fighting for it. And a loose ball picked up by Jones.
That's what they have to be, really scrappy. Dig for everything.
There's Davis.
Graham is number 3. I think they got him, did they?
For Graham, actually, that'll be his 4th. So 4 on Selden, 4 on Graham. And Davis going to shoot more free throws. He's been busy in that department here in this half. He knows all about taking on Kansas inside that household, you know, with his father Tyrone playing at Kansas State.
Here we go, one.
Well, you see the foul concerns for Kansas.
Guys, there's been a lot of players in today's games here that have fathers who've played in college basketball. It's really amazing. I don't think I've been a part of games with that many guys.
We got 3 kids on the Austin Peay team alone whose fathers played at Austin Peay, and then you got Davis trying to make the steal there. His father played at Kansas State. Mikhailuk off the glass, and he's leading the Jayhawks in scoring today. And he's got a chance for the 3-point play.
All you had to do was really, you could have picked up the charge on him. I don't know why you gave ground on this little penetration. Vic's going to be the point guard now for Kansas. Mikhailuk has really been aggressive in his pursuit of that little dribble drive.
Knocks that one down. Give him now 18 for the game. He's tied his career high. We still have 14 minutes to go. Here's Green.
Pretty look to Vic. Aggressive play. Vic can really move around the floor too. Good speed.
And the basket by Vic. Savage over to Horton. Back outside with it.
Nice help by Vic.
Nothing there. Coming out with it. It's Vic.
Nice run. Nice. How about Bill Self? He knows where to go. Vic. A little help and the dive by Ellis. Strong finish by the big fella.
Boy, what a spurt. A 7-point run in a flash for the Jayhawks. And now they've taken their biggest lead of the game at 24.
And right here you have shooters spacing the floor. And Ellis wide open. You had to pick your poison. Ellis, who's just so good at running the court, finishing at the rim. But with Green and Mikhailuk out there, the defense had to decide, and they chose wrong.
You know, it's amazing. The depth is what jumps out at me, too. They can just turn to so many good people. Here they ice it one way. Look at the foot speed by Vic. He really can cover people.
Give it to him.
Yeah, he was there. He had Horton if he wanted him. Now they go to the other side to feed him. The ball's on the floor with 4 to shoot.
Nice cut.
Oh, Savage! Not able to get the dunk.
And Mikhailuk with a good cover.
Ellis with that beautiful drop step. Chases it down baseline, doubled up. And it's going to stay at this end. It's off the Governors.
And you love this confrontation at the rim as Savage goes up.
How about that? Great camera shot too, huh?
It's like Savage just, the ball got hung on the rim.
Yeah.
Ellis with position and 2 more.
And your point well taken, Jim. You just cannot let a guy step in, seal you, and beg for the basketball. Defense just a little too loose. I mean, this is just walking in, no protection. You got to jump up in the lane, be ready, force him to go opposite. Kid is too smart.
Just physically so much stronger. It's easy for them to get that position when they want it. And Ellis.
You go from one tight end to another.
Jayhawks have now 4 players in double figures, led by Ellis's 19. And they've scored the last 10 in the game. Robinson. And last touch by Kansas.
I'll tell you, Coach, you talked about Vic and the athleticism, the foot speed, but his ability to just make it difficult for Robinson. And he was sitting on the bench, wasn't playing. He's not only playing because of the foul trouble of his teammates.
And he's got great length, too. We talked about the foot speed. Look at the length of those arms where he can deny the basketball, help out.
Right between Traylor and Lucas. That's tough. On the putback, though. Now that showed you something right there about Chris Horton.
Good for him. He's maintained his poise.
First basket in 4 minutes and 40 seconds for the Govs.
And once again, you're dead on delivery.
Yep. Well, and the putback, Lucas.
I mean, you've got to contest that little spot.
I'm sure in the Ohio Valley Conference, not used to a guy the size of Lucas.
Now, Kansas all time 19-0 against Ohio Valley teams. As that comes in high off the glass by Murray.
I would guess they were favored in most of those games.
Yeah, I would think so.
Look at this kid. Is he enjoying the time on the floor? And he was saying he was in the restraining area. You know, guys, I can certainly relate. You're exhilarated one moment in this great game as a coach. Everything's going great. We've reached back. We're playing hard. And then you realize the Jayhawks have a little talent. Misery sets in. Warm up the bus, Gus.
Well, we've already had a 1-seed win today, Virginia over Hampton. Here it's Kansas by 25 points in the paint, 40. So with the Virginia win and Kansas on its way here, the ones over the 16, 126-0. Someday it's going to happen. I just hope we're there to see it.
Not on our watch.
One day it'd be, you know, the mother of all upsets.
Jim, I thought I heard you say that 20 years ago.
I did. Well, you know, it's funny that you think college basketball is more balanced now, but you think back 20-some-odd years ago when you had the East Tennessee State make a run. You had Georgetown, Princeton. You had some 1-point wins by one seeds, and it's been a while since we've had a nail-biter. But, again, the ones significant difference physically when you look at all these matchups.
Yeah, that is the point, too. You know, I'm looking out there and saying just the bodies alone, the conditioning, the strength, the mass is so difficult. Even on drives to the rim, look at the collection of bodies. It's so well coached. Give it up.
At Murray. He's got Joe for the dunk.
Good for you. Just keep plugging.
Chope is in there because Horton took a hard fall on the foul before the break, and that was his fourth. Give him a little breather here. There's no reason to worry about the foul situation when you're down this big.
Well, they do that high-low dump down. That's just, you can't follow the cutter to the box. You let him go low, you separate, stay high, and don't let him duck in on you.
But to your point, Coach, the size of Kansas, being able to just duck in and seal anytime they want. I bet they have different strength and conditioning budgets between the two schools.
Just a guess. You're right.
Lucas at the line. Oh, I got a foul call here. Called on Trailer. Get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament at ncaa.com. You've mentioned Coach Luce a few times. He'd have been there a long time. You know, 800 games. He was a fine basketball player in his day at what was then Memphis State University. Before Memphis State made that run to the championship game with Larry Finch and company, and Robinson later was an assistant to Finch at his alma mater, and that basket counts. Lucas has done this a few times, hasn't he?
I just love this kid's presence out there. Doesn't need the ball, just positions. He just got a great expanse. The shoulders can carve out area. Well, you mentioned Memphis, though. They were pretty good in those days, too.
Yes, they were.
Like Finch, Keith Lee comes to mind a little later.
Now in the mid-'80s with Lee.
I guess 85.
Dana Kirk.
Yeah, he was in the Final Four.
Yep. And there's Coach Luce, who not only was a starting point guard at Memphis State, he also was an all-conference shortstop for the baseball team. He's in the Memphis Athletic Hall of Fame. The father of 3, grandfather of 9. It's Robinson. It's it back out to Savage.
Love talking to Coach Luce about him as the AD and coach. He said he had a lot of conflicts with the AD when he was coaching.
Well, he did it for a long time. Just gave it up just recently. He's the guy that is beloved in that community there in Clarksville, Tennessee. His contract's up at the end of this season, but he loves what he's doing. Mikhailuk
Look at this
I'll
kid.
tell you, I like that kid, Coach.
He's playing with confidence. They've brought him along beautifully.
He loves what he's doing too, doesn't he? That's Murray. Hey, that's his second three of the game for the Governors.
In the back, I don't know if you noticed, Bragg looked to help on the box, then went to check his guy out. Attention to detail.
Lob. And it belongs to the Jayhawks. And look who's coming into the building now. The Indiana Hoosiers, the Big Ten regular season champions. Yogi Ferrell brings them in. They won that regular season in the Big Ten by 2 games and ended up getting a 5 seed, which was a bit of a surprise.
And frosted them a little bit. This kid can stroke it, didn't make it. Green. Colin Hartman coming off that bus too. Hopefully he'll be fine. Had the sore wrist. Grant Hill's got a sore wrist from signing autographs for 3 days.
In the paint. Nice shot. Swish there for Porter Bunton, who was a high school teammate of Savage.
He gets about 12 minutes a game. 4 points.
A couple of Bowling Green kids. Here's Vic with a 3.
How about this? Just amazing. Depth, right?
That kid can play right there. And actually, the foul trouble might be a good thing for Kansas, getting some of the bench players to get some reps. Going to need the production to make a Final Four championship run. But Vic, man, that kid is talented.
How about these threes, this whole rain of threes now? We've had 4 back and forth. Robinson with his second one of the game.
And Jim, you hear this all year long, too, about practice. How deep and tough are the practices at Kansas?
Oh, man.
And they really improve that way.
The intensity's there throughout.
So the practices are more difficult than the games, as Mikhailuk showing us everything here tonight.
Yeah, he's added to his career total. Career high now is up to 23.
And the background, you saw the Kansas bench. They're just enjoying the heck out of it.
Murray.
And it was Selden over there and Graham. And, you know, there's no envy, just all about team.
Green. And coming out with it is Robinson. He's bumped by Traylor as we hit under 8 to go here in Des Moines. 86-60. Comfortable afternoon for Bill Self's Jayhawks.
Ernie Johnson in New York right now on TBS. You got the 12 Little Rock Trojans and the 5 Purdue Boilermakers playing in Denver. And look at A.J. Hammonds with the oop, part of a 16-6 run for Purdue as they lead Little Rock. Jim.
Nice alley there, too. Thank you, E.J. We saw Purdue make it all the way to the Big Ten Conference Tournament Final. And Grant, you thought that was a team capable of making a little 4-game run to the Final Four.
I definitely think that A.J. Hammonds, Hoss inside the big man 3, Swanigan, 3 big guys are so good, so talented. If they can value the basketball and knock it down from the perimeter, they got a chance.
It's all about the guards. I think you're right. If they play well, you know, Edwards, Rayfeld Davis. Ooh, he had a drop step there. Bragg baseline.
That's Ellis again. Almost automatic down there.
To move the ball side to side, read the defense. Uncompromising in their unselfish play.
Ellis with 21, and at the other end, that'll give Horton a chance at the line. Ellis is moving in now on top 10 all-time scoring list at Kansas. He's moving in on Kirk Heinrich. He's 7 points away from tying him for 10th. Which, if it doesn't happen today, it will happen. You got to figure Saturday in the matchup against Connecticut in the second round. The CBS Sports app's the only app you need for the tournament, folks. Follow your bracket, watch highlights, get instant team and upset alerts. Download the CBS Sports app now. Second one, not a go. And that's Diallo, who's in the game, Billy.
Yeah, I'm glad we got that right.
Felt like I saw him in the first half.
I think the big upside on this kid, no question about it. Nice
Tapped
save
out by Diallo. Yep, he's the one who saved it. That's Selden.
Pretty.
Nice
soft.
move.
He can manufacture post-up. Diallo runs so easily, Jim. That's what's really impressive.
Talk about Diallo. He was a McDonald's All-American, and right now in this game, he's the 11th man.
Isn't it amazing? And look at the alley-oop to him now.
Oh, yeah, he's in the scoring column. Kansas shooting 75% in the second half.
I told you I saw him earlier.
Yeah.
Just amazing, his foot speed. And he will learn from playing these talented bigs under the tutelage of Bill Self.
Murray trying to manufacture something. And it bounces in for Horton. Starting to put up some good numbers now. Horton with 11 points. Still well below his average of 19. 11 points, 9 rebounds. Selden, he's got 14 now. And his biggest highlight of the game.
I tell you, he had a dunk against Baylor that brought the house down.
Oh, yeah.
From the top.
High level on the rim.
Well, he is a high flyer.
Brought the house down, brought a family member into the picture. Yeah,
Uncle Anthony, right?
Yep. Murray, he's not fouled. Gets the second chance. Stays at this end.
Uncle Anthony has those cheap clocks he wears over his chest.
He might be offended by that, Chief.
Well, no, I think he goes to the dollar shop, much where you get your jackets.
Oh, man.
That sends Murray now to the free throw line.
A spirited group, though. It's been fun watching these